Hey Raiders, welcome back to another live arena battle video. This video will feature 7 fights and 4 wins. So, we'll get started, and I pull Bobo32. Bobo32 is close to 3,900, so closing in on Quintus. He'll go with Wukong first, I will go UDK and Duchess. So he will go Elva and Harima. That means I probably want to go Xena, but I think I'm going to pick her last. So I'm going to go Nekret, and actually I'll go Xena now. See who he goes with last, and he goes with Pythion and Ragash. So I feel like this is a vulnerable team. It's intended to be pretty tanky, but I think it's pretty vulnerable. So I'm going to go with a Stone Skin Nuker last, which is Errol, and I'm going to go ahead and ban that Wukong. I don't really want Buff Strip. If all there is a Buff Stripper, I'm going to get rid of that. So, they ban my Duchess. We get started, of course, they're going to go first. Elva is a little faster than everybody. She's just going to A1. Ragash doesn't really do anything, and right there I was wondering, where's your damage, Ragash? And then with the triple hitter, really, Harima doesn't really do anything either. So then I soften him up with Xena, try to kill Harima, and then I see there's your damage. You have swift parries. You actually don't have damage built in. There's Ragash, hardly does any damage with his A1, and the AoE does a little bit of damage to my Nekret. Put up the fear, and try and soften up the Elva. Use my second AoE with Xena. Use my AoE with Errol, and this one's pretty much over. And there's the swift parry on Ragash too. So 2 swift parry defensive nukers. Really, I wonder how often that gets done. I wonder how much swift parry are you using in that team, and does that work? I mean, you are at 3,900, but I don't know. I was kind of disappointed in him using swift parry. Then I get Ducktail. Ducktail's going to go with an Arbiter team first, and I don't know if I'm going to face bombs, so I'm kind of I'm second-guessing myself on the UDK pick, and I'm going to take him out, and then I'm going to put in Nekret there. See who they go with. They will go double ally attack, so I know their support now. I know they're going double ally attack. I'm going to ban the Mikage, and now I just need to go tanky, and I can win this. The problem is I didn't go the right kind of tanky. So I decide I'm going to go ahead and go with Errol and Ramontu. He goes with the Blender Classic, which is Skullcrown and Sinisha, and then I will finish off with Goffred, whom I think is going to protect me. They'll ban the Duchess, they don't want any revives, and we'll get started. So I felt really confident going into this fight, and I was very wrong. So they go into the battle and take out my Nekret, triggering Goffred's passive on himself, get the Stone Skin off of Errol, put cooldowns on him, and Ramontu does not hit hard enough to win the battle. That was it right there. But I didn't have any increased attack, and Ramontu couldn't get it done. So I made a big mistake on my support in this one. I think it was the right choice to go 2 Stone Skin Nukers, but it was not enough support to get it done, and I take the loss. I'm kicking myself on that one because I really wish I could get that back. I feel like that was an easy team to beat, but I just picked the wrong champions. I was overconfident in the champions I picked, and then it's gone. So here I go UDK first, and he'll pick the Duchess, as well as Harima, and then I will go Nekret. So I've got the extra tanky, and then every time I get forced into Sifi here, I question whether or not I want Sifi. As you see there, I picked Wukong and then dropped him and went in favor of Sifi. So we'll see who they pick next. And they will go Pythion and Grazer. So they're going a lot of mitigation here. In fact, that's just a ton of mitigation right there. The Duchess Pythion Harima mitigation combo is really good. Now, I'm not as familiar with what Grazer does. I know he throws up an unkillable on himself. He has some some kind of built-in mitigation maybe as well, but I just haven't really looked at them that closely. And then they go Valkyrie, whom I'm not really worried about, and I'm going to ban the Duchess, because I'm going to finish off with Stultus and Wukong. So they'll ban my Wukong, so I can't steal any buffs, and now I got to do this with Stultus. Again, I'm going into this battle feeling pretty confident that I'm going to come away with a win. So we'll get started, and they go first. I thought I would go first with Sifi, but my buffs, my worn buffs, projected Valkyrie to go first. So I'm going to protect the Sifi after buffing up, and they're not doing too much damage to start. I'm going to be doing some A1s because I don't really want to trigger anybody but Pythion. He's not going to do any damage, so let's just do Pythion. I'm not going to get through that shield right now. Just got to wait for some of those buffs to wear off, and they may never. So here, I decide to just A1 into the Pythion. Can't sleep anybody because Valkyrie was the only one with increased debuffs gone, or block debuffs gone, and she was low turn meter. So again, still A1 into the Pythion, can't really do much there. The mitigation and the shields is really just keeping me down, and they are slowly working on my Necrat, who's able to heal up at the start, but I'm not able to break through them. And Valkyrie able to repeat with her shield and her counterattack is just pretty much making them unbreakable for me. Like, that Pythion is not very strong. As you see right here with the ally attack, I get through him pretty well, but just wasn't going. If I could have broken that Pythion much quicker, then I might have had a better shot at this. And that was it. So I do the AoE, and that pretty much gets my Necrat almost killed with Grazer's A1. Then Grazer does finish off Necrat, provokes my Stultus, and I'm just going to leave the battle. I'm not going to bother with this. I mean, maybe it was possible I could have won that one, but I was looking at it like, no, there's not a shot. I don't have a shot at this one. So then I pick up OC Kenglish. So at this point, I'm getting pretty frustrated because I'm facing hard teams, and they all seem like they have double my IQ. So this one goes Sifi first, I go UDK and Duchess, and then they go a +4 Rotos and a Lady Mikage, and I'm just like, here we go again. What are they going to go with last? They got to go a Damager and a support, and they go Taurus Marichka. So I had Goffred in there, and I have Stultus and Xena. I don't have anyone to protect Stultus and Xena other than Goffred, and then the single target hit from UDK. So initially I was going to ban the Lady Mikage, but I ended up having to ban the Sifi. And they banned my Xena. So I'm not feeling too bad about this. If they'd banned somebody else, like the Goffred, I would have felt worse. But remember, that is a +4 Rotos that's going to have to hit through my UDK. So she's going to morph, and she's going to buff strip, and she got both of my stone skins. So that's pretty unfortunate for me. So then Taurus drops the hammer with only one buff. And then I'm going to get sheeped on Goffred as I stun the Rotos and the Mikage. I kill the Mikage, so she's not coming back until the Marichka. Marichka's going to cleanse, and then I'm going to put the fear on Taurus and get killed, but I do kill the Rotos. So my goal here is to get that Taurus out of here, and then try and get everybody back up, and then take out the Marichka. But then guess what happens? Marichka heals the Taurus. So I get slowed down. He's not going for the when Marichka revives everybody, he's going for the now. But I am able to get a stun, as Taurus would have killed Duchess, but Goffred passive saves her, puts up the block of damage, and Taurus gets stunned. Provoke the Taurus, that's very helpful, and then I kill them both, so then I get 3 more popping back up with only Duchess going. Rotos is going to go, and he weak hits on the UDK. Taurus is going to go, and doesn't do too much with his A1, and Lady Mikage doesn't really have much. So, I feel in control of this, but Rotos can always go off. Get the triple stun going. I want that Taurus out of there first, because Rotos is still stunned. Taurus is gone. Now I want the Mikage out of here. Still doesn't have anything. I'll buff up with defense and just kill everybody with Stultus. So that worked out very well. I actually did not imagine I was going to win that battle, and I took it. I had to leave in the Mikage, and that's usually not a good recipe for me. So kill a Frenchman is the next one, and I'm really just trying to get over 500 on the day with more than one fight, and then call it good. So I'm going to go UDK, they go their 2 damagers, which are Leorius and Wukong, and then I will go Duchess and Necret. I kind of feel like while I was waiting for the player pool to get smaller, or to get bigger, I mean, and easier in Gold 2, everybody just got smarter. So here I'm thinking about putting in Tormund, but instead I'm like, no, Tormund's not going to work out very well. So I go Xena and I go Stultus. I'm looking at banning Mikage, and we'll see who he picks last. He picks Cardiel. I don't really like that matchup. The double ally attack, they can go for each of my nukers, they can get rid of my Necret, and then if I revive, they'll just kill him again. So I'm not very happy with that. I banned the Mikage. I think Wukong was the play. I think, but I'm not even really sure. Wukong might have been the play there. So we get started, and they will go first with Cardiel. So he's going to ally attack into the Xena and take her out. I get stunned on the Stultus, so that's unfortunate. I'm not going to put up the buffs from Duchess yet. And then UDK gets stripped, and Stultus is almost gone. They're going to put up their Revive on Death. I could bring back the Xena now, but I know Stultus is going to be dead in a second, so I'm waiting. So far, nothing has happened to Duchess. But she did have double stone skin. So, Wukong does Staff of Wonder and takes out everyone but Duchess, and then Duchess is gone from Leorius. So I didn't have a chance to bring anybody back. They struck pretty quickly, and that was their intention. So that one was a big fail. So then I get a level 97 about where I am, Romka. And they'll pick first, and they go Wukong. I will go UDK and Duchess. They will go Marichka and Harima, but I'm pretty confident they don't have Taurus. So I'm going to go with Necret. And I'll go the Xena because Marichka can trigger Xena. So then we'll see who they finish up with. I mean, Wukong and Harima are not a bad combo, but they gotta go with somebody who buffs something. So we could be seeing a Sifi, and they don't go anybody who buffs attack or defense. So they go Ramontu, and they go with Pythion. So I'm not too worried about Ramontu in this position. I'm going to ban the Wukong, they're going to ban my Duchess. So Xena will be protected, and I can say goodbye to Stultus if they're quick. And Ramontu is going to block those passive skills after stripping everybody, because nobody has a ton of resistance here. Ultimate Death Knight has 500 resistance, so he might resist it. Probably not, though. So they're going to go first with Ramontu. He is going to block passive skills, does not strip the UDK. And they go after the Xena, but don't do much with the Harima. I was kind of surprised with that. Was Harima a decoy, I wonder? So, did the AoE with Stultus, then did it with Xena, and took out the Ramontu. He's not going to revive the Ramontu, because that would be a terrible play. He's got to wait until Marichka dies, when Ramontu will just pop back up. So I've got to kill the Marichka, and then have him revive the Marichka. So Marichka is dead, Ramontu is back. He's going to want to revive the Marichka, and he's going to do it right now. I'm going to kill everybody except the Marichka, and then I'm going to kill the Marichka, and they're going to pop back up. But he used the revive. Ramontu is going to debuff Necret. But he doesn't get decreased defense on there, so that was good. So then I decide who I want to take out, and it is Harima. I'm not really that worried about the Ramontu. Just has his A1. Went for the A2 on Xena and got feared. Also have decreased attack, so she's not going to do a lot right there. And the A3 on Stultus finishes it off. So that team wasn't that strong. So we'll get started on the next one. And I got a little impatient on this one. Normally I will wait 30 to 40 seconds between battles so I don't get a rematch. And this time, with some of my losses, I was just getting frustrated and just mashing go again. I did not lose 3 in a row at all, though, today. So I go UDK first, and then he goes Duchess and Siphi, which leaves me with Pythion. I'm actually winning when they do Duchess Siphi and I go with Pythion. And I'm kind of thinking maybe I need to rebuild my Pythion, make him my strongest bolster champion with decent speed, and then just don't go with Siphi anymore. So they'll go Mikage, so I know who I'm banning. And my damagers, I'm going to go with Wukong, and I'm going to go with Ramontu. Both are buff strippers, and both can hit fairly hard. Ramontu not as hard as Wukong, obviously. And Wukong's not optimized for damage, he's optimized for cutting in, doing a little bit of disruption, and then doing damage. I'm going to ban the Lady Mikage, and they're going to ban the Necret. So I don't have anybody that's going to put Veil up, so Astralon isn't as effective as he could be. I don't really like that pick, but he must like his +2 Astralon. So we'll get started here, and he'll obviously go first with his Duchess Aura and his Siphi. So they'll buff up, and I'll get stunned on Wukong. But I still got the Stone Skin on Ramontu, and I will cleanse. That's why he didn't buff up with increased attack right there. So that was pretty smart. I'm able to put block debuffs on a couple of them, but then I immediately strip it off with Ultimate Death Knight when he counterattacks the Leorius. They try to kill my Pythion, but don't. Wukong's back. Throw up a heal. Siphi's going to go, and she's trying to sleep my Wukong, and doing what I always forget to do, or forget I'm going to do. So I wanted to see if I could sheep the Duchess, and couldn't. Get the AoE, and couldn't quite kill the Duchess. She's left with 5%, and she brings everybody back. So at that point I thought, ooh, I might come up just short. So now Siphi burns her revive. So the revives are burned, and I can't believe Leorius did not kill my Wukong there. But Astralon did it. I pick him back up with Pythion. I'm still worried I'm not going to make it through here, but put up a shield, put up a heal over time, strip the buffs, kill the Leorius. Still don't think Siphi has a revive back yet. When I get back to Wukong here, I'm going to do a high-risk play. I'm going to do Staff of Wonder into Astralon, and if I do it, I win. If I weak hit, then I lose. And I won. So that was high risk, and I took it. I just wanted to be done, wanted to have a winning day at 4-3, and fortunately it worked out for me. So that was a big play. High-risk moves I don't really like to do, but that one got it done. So while I started with a win on the day, I kind of lost some in the middle there, 3 out of 4 in the middle, but then finished off with a couple wins and salvaged the day at 4-3. So let's show a couple builds here, as my opponents were all fairly strong. Had a couple that were below me in power, but most of them were right around me or just above me. The big frustration with me for Live Arena is that I've waited a while for the pool to be watered down, and then, like I said earlier, they seem to have doubled in IQ, so it's harder. Stultus, I have him. I need to get that 3rd level of Awakening, but here's his stats. He's okay speed, not amazing, and he is +4. Xena, here's her stats, and I feel pretty good about her build. There's not a lot more I want to do on hers. And then there's Wukong. I've mostly got him where I want him as well, and there's a little bit of room for improvement, so can make him a little bit better. His accuracy is actually better than I intended. And here's Ramontu, decent accuracy, nothing too special, but he is in Stone Skin and Instinct, so he does all right. In any case, I hope you enjoyed the video, and take care.